RecTeq 340 pellet grill burn off and walk around review. If you're like me and you enjoy grilling and smoking up some barbecue outdoors, but when you go to a beach or a national park for a long hike, it ain't that easy to take your go-to pellet grill along for that ride. And that's when this nice little portable pellet grill from RecTeq comes in handy. Stretch out that back and grab a screwdriver, Joe. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. I've been asked for a long time to get a RecTeq pellet grill on the channel, and here it is. So for all of you former David Koresh followers, you're welcome. I know you got that little bit of a swagger when you're walking up to the butcher counter. Oh yeah, gonna be cooking on the RecTeq today. Yeah, they're a cult. Seriously, these people are cult members. The RT340 was packed great and there wasn't any damage in the shipping. And it didn't take my boys more than 15 minutes to unbox it and put it together. There's 2 rods to release the legs so they fold out, then take that bottom shelf and place it in so it makes it nice and sturdy. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver because you only got 4 bolts to tighten up for that lid. I'm certainly giving RecTeq a A+ for the assembly part of this grill. The first time you're gonna start up this pellet grill, you have to do what's called a setup procedure. But you're gonna have to do this again if you run out of pellets or if you decide to empty it out before you go on your little vacation. Get the grate out, along with the drip pan and the heat deflector. One thing I'm gonna point out that I really like what RecTeq does, they seal up the whole bottom of the chamber with some high temp sealant. That's taking an extra step there, because once this pit starts to develop a nice seasoning, I ain't gonna have no smoke leak out of those cracks. I got their little special where they send you a bunch of pellets, so we're gonna use some RecTeq today. Just take off the clip so we can get some pellets in here first. They even seal up the inside of the hopper. After you get it filled up, grab a handful out of the hopper and place them right in the fire pot and try to get them right over the top of that igniter if you can. Turn the power on and we're gonna turn this down to 250 degrees to start it off. You can see we have the 5-degree increments. That's pretty good because then you can get a better temperature to control that cook. With having that handful of pellets in the fire pot, this isn't gonna take quick and we're gonna start seeing some smoke. It was actually smoking by the time I finished that sentence. We've got ignition. Yay! Take your heat deflector and get that back in. For all of you that are brand new, you probably want to put that heat deflector back in before you start it up because it gets a little hot on the fingies. Get our drip pan back in. And finally, our stainless steel grate. Now I'm doing this burn off just a little bit different than how RecTeq tells you to do it in the manual. But this lid is powder coated. So I always like to bring the temperatures up on anything that is painted on a pellet grill nice and slow. So I'm gonna run this at 250 degrees for 30 minutes. Well, today I can't use Long Dong Silver because this little pit doesn't have a stack. But have no fear, nation, we got this under control. After that 30 minutes, it's time to spray it down with some PAM. This little pit smokes pretty decent though, that's for sure. This is the last time that this pit will ever look so good. You can use any brand of canola oil or cooking spray that you want. I don't use any aluminum foil on these deflector or drip pans. I just spray them up, get a nice patina color developed on it. And I like to coat up the side walls a little bit. It's gonna turn colors anyways. Might as well just put a little layer on there because it does make cleanup a lot easier. Close our lid back up and we'll crank it up to that 400 degrees and set a timer for 1 hour. The timer just went off. Now I'll shut down the RT340. Super simple, just shut off the power. Once all the pellets are burnt out of the fire pot, the fan is gonna shut down and you're gonna see that auger engage. It's gonna spin and add a few more pellets to that fire pot so it's ready for the next cook. But don't start packing it up yet. Make sure that this pit gets completely cooled down before you touch it because nobody wants burnt hands. As the 340 is cooling down, I'll give you a little walk around review about it. It has a PID Wi-Fi enabled controller. RecTeq has an extreme smoke setting that starts at 180 degrees, and this pit will go all the way up to 500 degrees in 5-degree increments. And like it says, keep this because all you gotta do is take a picture and it'll automatically bring up the website. Scroll down a little bit, click on the manual, And then boom, there you go. Now you can put it together. The barrel is constructed of stainless steel. The drip pan, the heat deflector, and some of the components are made out of 304 stainless steel. It's got a cool little bottom shelf, and it also works as a support to these legs. You got a couple rubber casters and then just your regular stick legs on the other side that both fold up. You just gotta detach that bar and you can close it up tight. Got a little grease bucket, but I lost my liner for it already. You got two exhaust ports, one here and one right here. You got a nice little latch to lock this pellet hopper down, so when you're traveling, you don't have to worry about those pellets falling out. You got a 20-pound hopper, and that's big enough. You'd probably be able to get away with doing an overnight cook. Got a nice little handle if you got to adjust it on this side or carry it. And you got a nice sturdy handle on this side if you just got to move it around in your garage. And of course, it's not a RecTeq unless it has the horns for the handle on the lid. There's our RecTeq logo. And it has this cool little handle on top, because when you're going to carry it around, this gives you another point to grab a hold of. Even if this pit is portable, it does have a little bit of weight to it, so if you have somebody around to help you haul it around, use their back too. And it comes with two meat probes. It's got a nice little probe port cover, and if you open it up, stick your probe through, it'll close right down on that wire, and that helps so it's not open so a bunch of smoke rolls out. The lid, it's not airtight, but you could put some of this velvet seal on here if you wanted to, just to keep it a little tighter. You have 340 square inches of cooking space, but if you want it a little bigger, on their website they have an additional rack that you can purchase that'll get you to 510 square inches of cooking space. But in my opinion, that's not really necessary. You can get a couple racks of ribs in here, or even a smaller brisket. That's enough food to feed your family at the beach. The 340 also has the hot flash ceramic ignition system, which will give you 100,000 cooks. That's a lot of years before that igniter is going to burn out on you. From what I've read and I've been told, RecTeq has a really good and reliable customer service. The RT340 has a 2-year horn-to-hoof warranty. That's pretty good. I know a few of you are asking, what's my opinion on this pit so far? I say it's pretty positive. Yeah, it's small, it's not very big compared to some of the pits that I have. But for somebody that just wants one pit for their house, or throw it in the back of their truck and head up to the cabin, I think it's got a purpose, but obviously I have to cook on it first before I can give you my true thoughts. It produced a decent amount of smoke, and it ran pretty smooth for its first time starting up. Well, that's all I got. Roll the nation. That was just a little bit of a haha back to you because of all the crap that you've given me about getting a RecTeq. I got one. So zip it. Sort of kid over the top of his shoulder. No more talking. Just nice comments. Racer, you're the best. It's better that way. Well, this should make all my RecTeq viewers happy. I got a RecTeq. I can move to Waco now.
Yeah.